Now, bringing up a child is a daunting task, to say the least. So how do you know if you're on the right track? And when it comes to parenting advice, how do you know what to listen to and what to disregard? We're joined now by Kathy Fay, author of Oh Grow Up, who was the keynote speaker at the Parent and Child Show in Auckland this weekend. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Pippa.
I think to start with, there's really no right answer, is there?
Oh, no, there's not. There's just multitudes of options.
And you kind of muddle your way through.
Yeah.
It's quite nice. In fact, you sort of made some comments at the beginning of this book, Oh Grow Up, and that kind of made me feel better about the muddling I've been doing.
Yeah. It's not about being the perfect parent. It's just about being good enough. Really.
This book is a fascinating blend of sort of
Thank you.
new age, I guess spiritual, emotional kind of information, and just plain scientific facts and some good old-fashioned parenting advice.
Yeah, it is. I basically call it holistic parenting. So you're talking about the fact that we know they've got a mind that we need to assist with their intelligence, academic, all that sort of thing, and we know they've got a body that we need to give good nutrition to. But actually there's a whole lot of essence there as well, what I call it. You know, it's who they are, it's what they stand for.
Kind of understanding your child's personality and things like that. Yeah. And some kids, I guess, you would parent quite different from, and I'm discovering that with number 2 being so different from number one.
Yeah.
As I'm sure a lot of parents out there agree.
Yeah.
How would you describe the blend in the book?
I think you sum it up really well, that it's old age, new age. Yeah. It's combining the emotional, spiritual, intellectual, physiological. It's all just going in together in this wonderful blend of a whole lot of information. I mean, basically what I did is because I wrote my first book, Oh Baby.
Which we have here. Yeah. A lot of people will remember this.
They'll remember that one from 5 years ago. And then, of course, my kids started getting older, and I'm like, oh, gosh, I need more information, you know. And so Oh Grow Up is a combination, really, of about 4 years' worth of sort of part-time research. And if you can imagine taking every single best-selling parenting guidebook that I could get my hands on and sort of absorbing all that information and then putting it all together in some sort of summary. That's basically what I've done.
I noticed you've quoted Nigel Latter a bit and Ian Grant, and I have a huge deal of respect for those two parenting experts. I want to talk about a few things specifically, some specific advice. One is on food.
Yeah.
And it's so important, I guess, because it's not about just feeding them right then and there. It's about keeping them healthy and active, and
it really is. And it's, you know what, it's being intelligent with what we're feeding them and not being just completely sucked into the packaging that says, oh, you know, this is high energy. Oh, well, yeah, well, that's because it's 95% sugar. You know, it's just understanding some really basics. So what I've done with the nutrition section is that I have really put it into straightforward terms. And so anybody who's feeling a little bit disempowered by how confusing it's all got, look, it's one chapter, read it, and you go, yes,
I get that a little
okay.
bit. Let's talk about, because you have secrets and you have tips and things like that.
Yep.
We can't go through them all, but there was a couple that I found quite interesting. One was give the child sincere praise for effort and intelligence, but don't overpraise them effectively. Is that right? Which is hard as a parent, because you want to, don't you?
Well, it is, but it's sort of, I think that sometimes we get into a situation where it's like the kids can become almost praise junkies, you know, and everything they do they expect to be praised for, and that's not actually really teaching work ethic in a way, you know, and it's about praising them for the effort that they actually put in rather than the fact that they're talented. I mean, all our kids are going to be talented at something, but if they are only praised for the stuff that they're naturally really good at and they find quite easy, then they can hold back on actually wanting to have a go of stuff that's not really
so
up their
rather
alley.
than, oh my goodness darling, that's the best writing, gosh, you're so clever at writing, you've done it, you know, you praise that they've tried to do it and what have you. Yeah,
and like being honest with your praise, you know. I mean, I was joking with my girlfriend coming over actually in the car and was saying, you know, it's like those paintings that they take like 5 minutes to do and say, oh, hey, mummy, isn't this amazing? I'm like, well, how long did you work on it? Oh, 5 minutes. Well, it's quite good. You know, like, I mean, let's not go say, oh, it's fantastic. Well, you've only spent 5 minutes on it.
You've got to save some praise for the one they spend 2 hours on and really deserve the praise
and really give them the praise then.
Well, Kathy, look, I haven't read it all, but I've had a decent flick through and I must say I've really enjoyed it, and it's called Oh Grow Up, and you're speaking at the Parents and Child Show this weekend.
Yes, I am, yeah, and we've got free seminars on, 2 seminars every day which are free, and I also have a column on Women's Day these days with parenting, so you can check me out there as well.
And a mother of 3. Kathy, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Pippa.